Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live downtown Las Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Action-packed 3-hour program lined up today. And what a day it is overall. We were supposed to have a baseball playoff game starting in about 8 minutes. Rain delay, we'll update you on that coming up momentarily. Jonathan Davis on the program in an hour. NHL starts today with 3 games on the docket. He'll kick those around, and also some future bets that he likes. Paul Stone, college football handicapper, on the show in 90 minutes. We're going to take you inside our pizzeria long shot bets later on. Derek Stevens, lifelong Tigers fan, owner, Circa, CEO as well, going to be in studio, his weekly spot coming up a little bit down the road. But, Paulie, that is official now with this rain delay for Game 3 in Detroit between the Tigers and the Mariners. We don't really see like an estimated time of first pitch at this point. But we knew that this was possible, and here you go now. We're delayed going into the game.
There's also a scenario you could move Scooble up then a day, too. I mean, you could close them out maybe at home and win the series 3-1 if they don't get this one underway. So you're dealing with that. And then you would love life that you don't have to throw Flaherty and or Mize. Likely Flaherty, how it would work out, because their record's so bad when Flaherty's on the road. But if they get this in today, they got to get the bats going. I'm talking about Seattle. I mean, they were so good offensively down the stretch, and the pitching chaos shuts you down. You should have won the game. We mentioned the horrific call on 0-2,
right,
and then the home run, but you only score 2 runs and then 3 runs. So it was a great job by Polanco, and then bouncing back with their season on the line. But they got to get the sticks going today if they want to advance and they want to get to the next round. And I've been disappointed with their bats so far. Haven't you?
Do you have faith in that happening?
Not on the road, no.
I really don't either.
I know. They should hit Flaherty, but I'm concerned about the road record, and I'm concerned what I've seen so far in the series.
Oh, you have to also be concerned about the layoff here for Logan Gilbert, I would think, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys like that today, yeah.
Don't really know what to expect out of him in this spot. It's been a minute since he's pitched, obviously. I'm looking at the vsin.com K projections for tonight. They don't expect a lot of Ks from these guys. For example, in that game, Jack Flaherty, his number is 4.5, and that's actually juiced. It might be 5.5 at some books. They are projecting him for 4.16 Ks in the game, so they're projecting him to stay under. And Logan Gilbert's number is at 6.5, and they're projecting that to go, well, it's pretty much right in that neighborhood. They're also big time down on Carlos Rodon in the second game tonight.
Yeah.
They only have him getting 3.78 Ks in this game. And that is now Toronto's on the road in this game, obviously, but Toronto is a team that doesn't swing and miss a lot anyway. And Rodon's K numbers, as we documented in his last postseason start, they are way down. He was concentrating on becoming more of with the pitches and the sinker ball now, reemerging as one of his better pitches in the arsenal, at least how many times he's going to throw the ball. His K numbers are way down anyway. So I think there might be an angle here to attack it with some guys betting with the K prop under here.
Boy, you're paying a tax on the Yankees. You are paying a must-win tax on them.
There's no question.
Come on. I know Bieber doesn't have great numbers going back against the Yankees and also in the postseason, but Toronto has clubbed them so far. Now, I know they've owned them at home, but your level of concern here, if Rodon can shut them down, I don't know. They got a great offense, and the fact Stanton and Judge, last 38 at-bats, only 3 extra base hits. They're all doubles. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep them. The Yankees were the last team to be down 0-2 in a Game 5 and come back to win in 2017. I'm surprised it's 80-10 when you're up 2-0, that 10 teams have come back to pull this off with a best of 5. But you have it set up now, who you want with your pitching. You got Bieber going, your sticks have been great, and they're forced to throw Rodon, and you don't like their bullpen situation either?
Can't like it.
How deep's he going to go? Is he going to give you 6? I don't think so. Can he give you 5? But the way Toronto's hitting the ball here, I mean, this is great. And I think $1.70 is crazy, just like I agree with Humans yesterday. How could the Yankees be $1.50 series favorite?
No, you pointed that out on the show last week.
No home field, and they struggle in Toronto.
Sure. I think Rodon can give you 5 or 6 tonight. In fact, I was looking at his outs prop earlier, but you got to pay a heavy number on that as well for him just to get to 5 innings.
But here's where I would prefer him on the road from the out standpoint. When he pitches at home in this atmosphere, he gets jacked up and he tries to throw it 100 miles an hour every time. The next thing you look up, that pitch count is up there, and maybe they'll be going to the pen early.
Well, put it this way. I mean, they could easily win the game. There is absolutely no way on God's green earth I'm betting $1.65 with the Yankees. That number is absolutely bonkers to me.
Yep.
The only look here would be Toronto, and if they lose, they lose, but that number feels like it's way too high on New York tonight. Now, more on that, by the way, when teams are up 2-0, you mentioned the 80 and 10 all time.
Did that surprise you?
That 10 have come back?
Yeah, I thought it'd be a lot higher, actually.
Well, 54 sweeps
Yeah.
out of the 90 times. And in the new format now, the 2-2-1 format, it's 31 out of 34 teams that advance. 3 have come back.
Mm-hmm.
Does that actually surprise you?
Yeah. The 2015 Blue Jays did lose the first 2 at home and came back and won the series, trying to do what the Phillies can try to pull off.
Well, of the three teams that are down 0-2 right now, which team would you give the best chance to come back and win? The Phillies, just because they're so good?
Oh boy.
Although
I think they're dead. They're throwing Aaron Nola. We talked about that.
Yeah.
They're throwing Aaron Nola. He hasn't pitched since late September. And Yamamoto's on fire.
I know. I'm just thinking about like their lineup overall. But again, hey, tip of the cap, VSiN by the books morning host, Jensen Lewis. Can't trust his Phillies bullpen. In fact, he said worse than the Dodgers bullpen.
Well, he was right.
So far.
And also based on, that should have been easy, though, yesterday. I don't know what Roberts was waiting for. Trinan was awful. Just go to Glasnow or just bring in Sasaki. What are you waiting for?
You were texting me in all caps, like ready to murder the guy.
Oh, my God.
And I could feel it, man. I was like, so am I. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. You're begging to get beat here.
Exactly
with what
right.
he was doing. Incredible.
Yeah.
But, if you watch the show, there's one thing we can't stand, and that's the bunt, the sacrifice bunt. It's not 1982. It's ridiculous what goes on. I can't believe the bunt by the Phillies and Thompson there. Castellanos was out by, it was easy with the bunt. Rob Thompson, Phillies manager, was asked about bunting late there after the Castellanos double.
Rob, what went into the decision to have Bryson stop bunt there as opposed to swinging?
Just left on left. We're trying to tie the score. I liked where our bullpen was at based on as compared to theirs. So we played for the tie at home.
Playing for the tie at home. That's not an acceptable answer. How is that okay?
How's your bullpen better? They
Exactly
had
right.
They had Glasnow and Sasaki if they wanted them waiting in the wings.
Sure. Because Roberts was so stubborn and would not go to him.
Yeah, right. They could have even brought in Kershaw if they wanted to. They were set up for a 16-inning game.
Right.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe what I was watching.
So in his spot, honestly, you're willing to give up an out.
That's right. Here's an out.
But basically, take one out from us.
Take an out just to move up one base, and they blew that too. It was a great wheel play by the Dodgers.
And by the way, they also were like, he had already used like his entire bench pretty much for the whole game, so he couldn't really go to a pinch runner who was faster than Castellanos in that situation. Mm-hmm. So that's another killer right there.
Run down the numbers.
Okay.
May rest in peace, Dave Koken, who we talked to. No bigger baseball fan than Dave Koken, and he would just rail on it when the guys would do it. If I got leadoff guy on first, you are actually decreasing your chances of scoring by bunting and then advancing the guy to second with one out.
Yep. Runner on second, no outs, 1.128 expected runs, 61% scoring probability. Runner on third, one out, 0.9 expected runs, but a 66% scoring probability. The bunting actually gives you a better chance to tie it, but it takes away your chance to win the game big time. Mm-hmm. But this guy is actually okay with the tie.
Yeah.
Okay, why? Because you're going to be batting then, in theory, in the bottom of the 10th? Knowing what you need? Has that turned into a good proposition, by the way, in the NFL overtime rules in college football?
No kidding.
I know what we're going to need now in overtime, so why don't you go ahead and take the ball first?
Come on, Rich in Canada. Come on. Pizzeria's open today. He's got the exacta 410-1 with the Brewers Blue Jays World Series. How do you feel about Milwaukee? I hated that too, but it worked out for Murphy.
Oh, they got back into the game.
Oh, they got luck. But the opener backfire with Ashby, it's 3-0 right away. But then they tie it, and then the bullpen was lights out. Miz came in. They gave up one hit in, 7 2/3? And now you got Priester in your back pocket tomorrow.
Tell me how that team is not a blast to watch.
Oh, they're awesome.
They're so much fun to watch on TV. I mean, if that was a major market team rather than Milwaukee, people would be blown away by this team because Cheerio comes out there, does it again last night. Vaughn goes bombs away, like you said, and then they bring in the Miz, and he's throwing his stuff last night was as good as I think I've ever seen. How does anybody touch him?
You believe that?
When he's bringing that stuff like that?
How about the prop we mentioned? There was a prop, again, for this round. Fastest pitch, 102.5 miles per hour. His first 8 pitches went over that.
Oh, yeah.
He threw 4 over 104.
I thought of Kerry Wood's game back in 1998 when I was watching Miz last night. That's how good he was. The breaking stuff was unhittable.
What was the scam on S? Was it Sid Finch?
Yeah, Sid Finch. Yeah.
Right,
He could
okay.
throw 140 miles an hour or whatever it was. Yeah.
Like, what's the cutoff? Are guys going to be throwing 109 in 5-10 years? I mean, you got Miller and then Miz throwing 104 or 105.
Actually, didn't they say back then Bob Feller could throw like 108? But let me just question the guns back in the 40s. Yeah.
That's like Mickey Mantle hitting 600-foot home run.
Yeah,
After
sure.
you rolled, you picked it up.
Word
I
of
know.
mouth says, so I guess we'll believe it.
Unbelievable. So that prop was easy as well. Oh, see if the Brewers can finish them off tomorrow. Excellent. You got Priester going. Right now, save 40% on our football season special. Follow the money. Promo code FTM. Access across every sport, everything we do through the Super Bowl, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the AI-powered prop projections. Got there. Mr. Washington, 16 yards. That was big. Weekly wide receiver, cornerback matchup tools as well. The live video and the betting guide available today. Jonathan Davis on the show. Hockey starts in an hour. Lock it in. 40% off. Code FTM. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Up next, current NFL division numbers after the Chiefs dropped to 2-3 last night in a really good game on Monday Night Football. And yes, no playoff odds to boot. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. We are live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Busy hour on tap. Coming up in 30 minutes, Paul Stone, college football handicapper, bettor, professional sports bettor on the show in 30 minutes. His best bets in that sport coming up then. We'll take you inside our pizzeria in 45 minutes, some long shot bets. And we kick off the hour talking NHL. This great sport returns tonight. In fact, coming up, they're going to drop the puck in Florida. Panthers and Blackhawks coming up in around 20 minutes. Jonathan Davis joins the program now, VSiN's senior NHL betting analyst. Good to see you again today, pal. How are you?
I'm great. This is a great day. I love it. I mean, it's 3 hockey games, nicely spread out, and then being a guy that grew up in Toronto, Jays and Yankees.
Oh, perfect for
There
you
you
then.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Maple Leafs, so for you to really
No.
be too harsh on.
No.
So for the people now live on the show that want to bet on the game starting in again, like 20 minutes here, what would you recommend between the Panthers here and the Blackhawks?
All right. I like the Blackhawks to score first. I think that, for Florida, especially, they come off 2 emotional games in the preseason against Tampa, the last game having over 300 penalty minutes. I think we could get a bit of a flat spot early. I like Florida team total over 3.5. They're going against their former goalie, Spencer Knight, so it's his first game. But Florida has scored 4 goals or more against Chicago at home 8 straight games.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything with Bedard props?
I like to overshot. I do. You know what? I'll go with Bedard. I think I actually, on the site today, I did take Bedard anytime goal. He's had success against Bobrovsky. I also like Frankie Nazar. This kid's a stud. He is their second-year player. He signed the richest contract for a guy who had only played, I think, like 56 games in his career. He's got a big deal that starts next year. He was great for Chicago down the stretch. He was great for Team USA in winning gold, led Team USA. Frankie Nazar is another guy that I totally forgot about that comes to mind.
Bedard shots on goal prop earlier was 2.5 over, about plus 115 in that neighborhood.
I'm good.
You'd like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you would? Okay. Later on then tonight, this is 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, Pittsburgh and the Rangers here. Anything on this game? Anything future-wise with the Rangers?
Okay, so Rangers big on. I mean, I've been big. I bet the Rangers in the summer, 17-1 to win the East, 30-1 to win the Cup. I don't know if they necessarily do it, but I just think that it's a big bounce-back year. Mike Sullivan's the new head coach, came over from Pittsburgh, former Ranger assistant, no drama in New York. I like the way this team's built. I like Adam Fox to win the Norris Trophy for a second time in his career, 17-1 at that one. And then on the game tonight,
Yeah.
I do I think this game goes over. I also would take the Rangers team total over 3.5.
Is this is like the third worst team in the league then? Pittsburgh's this bad, and then are they going to trade Crosby?
I don't think they're going to. I don't. They may. They're more likely to trade Ricard Raquel. There's talk that they trade Brian Rust, although he could be the future captain in Pittsburgh. He loves being in Pittsburgh. Crosby, look, everybody outside of Pittsburgh wants Crosby to be traded. I mean, we'd love to see him hoist a cup, because the next thing he's got a realistic shot at winning is gold for Team Canada at the Olympics.
Okay, and then you're obviously expecting a tremendous year out of Shesterkin as well between the parts.
I am.
Okay, then later on tonight, your Kings in action. You live in LA now. They're at home against Colorado. Anything here in this game, and then anything futures related here with like maybe the Avalanche or even like the Kings in action here?
I like the Kings. I bet the Kings to miss. It's going to be tough because it means that either Vancouver or Anaheim has to be the team that gets in, because it's not Calgary. Tonight, Colorado team total over 3.5. I like. There are a lot of good player props that I posted in the article today, but Andrei Kuzmenko, the Kings to score a goal. Adrian Kempe, our good friend in the playoffs last year, averages over about 3.5 shots on goal a game against Colorado. So I laddered him over 2.5 and over 3.5.
You joined us last week, JVT and me, episode number 3 of Pod to the Futures, wherever you can get it, wherever you listen to your podcast, right? And you're on Kempe for a season-long prop as well.
Over 70.5 points, yes. He's had it the last 2 years. The only year he missed, and I think in the last 3, he landed right on 70. It's a contract year for him.
Oh, they're
unrestricted
big.
Free agent.
Yep. And Colorado is fill in the blank here. They are the blank best team in the West.
They are, I would say, along with Vegas, the 2 best teams in the West.
You have them both over Dallas.
I do. I'm not big on Dallas. I'm with Mike Palm. You know Mike's disdain for the Stars. Look, I just don't trust the goalie. When it matters most, I don't trust the goalie.
Does Vegas win the division? Are the Oilers going to coast?
I don't think the Oilers are going to coast, because I think Connor is on a mission. Like, Connor over 35.5 goals is one of my favorite plays.
Okay.
He's never gone 3 straight seasons without scoring 40. He's had less than 40 the last 2. He's talked about being more selfish this year.
Why did he sign for only 2 for 25?
Because he wants to win, and he knows that if he took a bigger piece of the pie, they ain't winning. And that allowed them to sign Jake Wallman, one of their defensemen, to a 7x7 deal the same day. He wants to leave money for this team to get better. He wants to win a cup. You know, he'll have a chance in 3 years to sign a bigger deal, but for now, he's looking at the window in Edmonton, and this is, look, it's like Sidney Crosby did 8.7 in Pittsburgh. Again, he doesn't have to, but he wants this team to be better.
So are the Oilers good enough, in your opinion, to plunk down some change here to either win that division or win the West?
They're good enough because they've got 2 of the best players in the league.
I'm sorry, is the number good enough on them?
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to get better. Let's put it that way. So you might as well grab it now.
But they have a history of coming out of the gates pretty slowly.
Yeah, They do. But I think they do have a history. And you may want to play the Oilers' point total. I think if you go to DraftKings, you can play them under their point total for October. I think it's around 15.5.
That's something, by the way, and you do a great job. You have write-ups every day on this sport, right?
Yeah.
Now, Circa and other books are offering them, like baseball, they're offering most points per month.
Yeah.
If you can dive into that, because I love betting it in baseball.
It's been huge. But that would be a way to go to me with Edmonton. Okay. Take their under point total for October.
It's under minus 130. 15.5 is the number. How big is the Barkov injury?
On most teams, it would be crippling. On Florida, they're so deep that, look, this is a chance for a guy like Anton Lundell, who they call Baby Barkov, to be the big Barkov. They're deep enough. It's interesting to me that they did not put him on, they did not declare him out for the year. The original prognosis was 7 to 9 months, and then there was a story where he was at the Miami Heat practice. They see him walking around, and then now we're hearing 5 to 7, which would keep him in line for the playoffs. So, look, Matthew Tkachuk's also out until December. But this team is so bloody deep that they've got enough talent.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though, right? They have played a lot of hockey games in the last 3 years. Doesn't that catch up with them like this year? Or are they just too good to overcome that despite the injuries?
I just think, look, they living in Florida changes a lot. Like, I mean, from a guy who grew up in Toronto but has lived in California as long as I have, 30 years, it doesn't, you get the fountain of youth. I mean, you're going to practice in flip flops. I mean, it's a lot different. If it was an Eastern team, I'd say it would have more of an effect. I think it's less out west.
How about Carolina 6-1 President's Trophy winner? Vegas, the second choice.
Yeah, my namesake Jeff Davis over here loves the Canes. Can't trust them with those two goalies. They were, there was some talk. We thought they were going to get Carter Hart, who's now been reinstated in the league. That's not happening. Look, I bet Carolina to get eliminated in round 2 and in the Eastern Conference Finals. Another thing I finally saw on DraftKings this summer. I think it's a fun little prop where you can bet when a team gets eliminated. So the last 7 years, I think it's 4 times in the second round, 3 times in the conference final. I did bet Carolina to win the division, but I also bet them to get eliminated in rounds 2 and 3.
So you think, again, per usual here with the Hurricanes, tremendous regular season team, and then a flop come playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're a great team. I really like them, but I don't trust either one of their goalies.
That is plus 320 and plus 450 at
Okay.
DraftKings. Should Tampa Bay be plus 180 to win the division?
Yeah, you think what? You think that's too high or too low?
Too low. You're down on Toronto.
I'm down on Toronto. Well, look, I think Toronto's better built for the regular season. The problem with Tampa is, for me, like, we don't know what the status is of Vasilevsky. He did play the last preseason game. There's been question about his health. Who's going to be their number 2 goalie? They just claimed Phoenix Copley off waivers from LA. He's an AHL goalie. They call him a quad 4, which means he's not good enough to play AAA and he's not good enough to play in the pros. Their defense beyond Hedman and McDonough, Eric Chernak's really good, but doesn't stay healthy long enough. I just don't know if they have the long-term sustainability.
All right, 2 things in the Maple Leafs then. Your childhood team, you grew up there, you said. 22-1 President's Trophy on that team.
By the way, hate the Maple Leafs. Born in Montreal, raised in Toronto. Hate the Maple
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the Mitch Marner special. Yes. Golden Knights over the Maple Leafs, 84-1.
Come on.
Oh, what? In
the Stanley Cup?
Exactly.
Oh, well, sure. If I got to take the Golden Knights, absolutely. Why not just for fun? Mitch Marner, I love his point total over. I think it's 92.5 for the Golden Knights. I really like that. I know you're a big Stolarz guy.
Yeah,
I think. Look, he's really good. The question is will he play enough games to be considered?
Why wouldn't he? How long's Wall out? Wall's out.
Yeah, he's out. I mean,
Stolarz was a rock last year. He was awesome.
I know, but he's
shenanigans
never.
in the head.
I know, but he's never played He's never been a true number 1. Last year was the most games he's ever played in his career. It's a lot. It's
too big of a leap, is what you're saying.
I think it's a big leap.
Where you at with Winnipeg? So impressive in the regular season. And
but a lot of injuries. I mean, injuries to start the year. Lost Dylan Sandberg on defense for a month. Adam Lowry, their captain, is out. Taves got a little banged up in training camp. We'll see. Like, that's the big X factor. Look, DraftKings has them, I think, a 16-point drop-off from last year.
Ooh.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Well, they also had like 116 points.
They also had guys who had everyone had career years.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You did a great job. Excellent job at the hub. VSiN.com/NHL, packed with team previews, future insights, award markets, season-long bets, new content and features rolling out all season. Contenders, the props in one place. Opening night tonight. VSiN.com/NHL. Get the hub.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I love the card again this week in college football. So many good games on the schedule. We'll get into the line moves for most of the marquee games coming up in about 45 minutes. But right now we head out to the Progressive guest line as professional sports bettor, college football handicapper, longtime friend of the show, Paul Stone, joins the program now on the Progressive guest line. Good afternoon, Paul. Thanks for the time as always. I want to begin in your neck of the woods, a game that you have covered, been to many times, Texas and Oklahoma. And this is bonkers because the game of the year number, I believe, over at the Westgate had Texas as a 10-point favorite in this game against Oklahoma. And now there's news that John Mateer wants to try to give it a go and play today, this weekend for the Sooners. And at the Westgate now, it's a pick'em. Do you think he plays, and what do you make of that number now?
Well, I think definitely the public's responding kind of to the news that some outlets there in Oklahoma City are reporting John Mateer's just steadfast position that he would like to play in the game. But it's one thing to want to play in the game, and another thing being released by doctors and your coaches and so forth. But this is a guy, he broke that right hand, Mitch, back on September 17th in that 24-17 victory over Auburn. He did not get that hand operated on until 4 days later on September 20th. So if he were to play this Saturday, October 11th, he would only be 17 days removed from having right hand surgery in Los Angeles by a renowned hand surgeon there. And it just seems like a really short recovery time. These guys are tough. They're gamers. They want to play. It's definitely to Oklahoma's advantage to at least, carry the possibility that he might play, because Texas, preparing for Michael Hawkins Jr., he doesn't have the whole playbook, does Hawkins. The vertical passing game is not as much in play as if Mateer plays. They've played against Hawkins. They haven't played against Mateer, so it causes more preparation for the Longhorns. And it'll be interesting to watch. I guarantee you he's going to suit up Saturday. I guarantee you he's going to go through pre-game workouts. But after that, who knows? I think it's about 50-50. I know he wants to play, but I heard Venables, I think it was a clip from today, said, hey, he's not doing any good on good. He's not handing off. He's not making any downfield throws. He's got to do that before we even think about it. But that could be part of the gamesmanship as well. Who knows? 50-50. We'll find out on Saturday.
Okay, very good. Some big games in the Big Ten. Let's start with Illinois and Ohio State. Buckeyes more than 2 touchdowns on the road, total of 50.
Yeah, I'm looking at the total here, Paulie. I know when you look at the side, which is Ohio State minus 14, one way to approach the handicap of the total, kind of a basic way, but is to ask yourself, will Illinois score more than 17 points against the Buckeyes on Saturday? And my answer to that question is no. First of all, about the only comp we have is Illinois' offensive performance earlier this year against Indiana, which of course was a lopsided 63-10 loss to the Hoosiers. In that game, the Fighting Illini scored just 10 points. Probably more concerning than that, they managed just 161 yards on 45 plays, averaged just 3.6 yards per play. You take away their 59-yard touchdown pass from Luke Altmaier to Colin Dixon, and on their other 44 plays, only 102 yards. So they mustered almost zero offense against Indiana. Indiana's got a great defense. They've got a top 10, top 15 type defense, but they're not Ohio State. The Buckeyes, arguably, maybe even inarguably, have the top defense in the nation, leading virtually every statistical category. They've only allowed a grand total, have the Buckeyes, of 25 points in 5 games. No team has even reached double digits against the Buckeyes this year. And you look at their offensive performance on the road in recent seasons, since the start of 2023, they're only averaging 28 points a game on the road. They've only eclipsed 31 points in 3 of those 11 road games. So they're a different offense. They slow it down. They don't score as much. Since 2023, also as a road favorite, Ohio State 8-2 to the under. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think Illinois is going to be able to score 17 points. I don't think Ohio State's going to score, 38 or more than that. So I like this game, Ohio State and Illinois, to stay under the current total of 50.
All right, sticking in that conference, and it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, professional sports bettor Paul Stone. He's on the Progressive guest line. When you look at Indiana's numbers overall, they jump right off the page. They're as good as basically any team in the country offensively. They are number 2 in yards per play margin. They are number 1 in success rate, and they have that thumping over Illinois a couple of weeks back. Now they're playing on the road against the Ducks, who might be the best team in the country. And you're telling me that Oregon opened up 10, but enough money here on Indiana to drive it down to 7.5? Is this too big of a move in your opinion?
Yeah, I tell you, I was at Circa on Sunday remotely, but when it got to 9, I bet Oregon. I didn't think it would go any lower. So what I know, but I'll say this first of all. Sometimes the sports bettors will say, "I wish I knew then what I know now," and I apply that to Kirk Cignetti. Man, this guy has been a moneymaker at both Indiana and James Madison in his season and almost a half at Indiana, and then his 5 seasons prior to that at JMU. 53-27 against the spread. The guy has cashed at a 66% rate really impressive. But what he hasn't done in his 18 games as Indiana's head coach is he hasn't won a game as the betting underdog, and he hasn't covered a game as the betting underdog. And granted, it's a very small sample size, only 2 games. But last year, towards the end of the regular season, they go to Ohio State, outclassed in that game, lose 38-15. And then in the playoff, they go to Notre Dame in the first round. They're 7-point underdogs. The final score, 27-17, but very misleading. The Hoosiers scored 2 touchdowns, if you'll recall, in the final 90 seconds to make the score much closer than it really was. So Indiana, they've been very good. I like to use this boxing analogy. Indiana's been good under Cignetti against the cruiserweights. And even when they step up a little bit against like the Iowas, who I call the light heavyweights, but when they've played the true heavyweights and had to step way up in class, they haven't shown yet. Until I get something different than what I've got to this point, I'm going to expect Indiana to give me more of the same. And looking at Oregon, I was really impressed with Dante Moore, his play at Penn State and the wideout victory. He's already identified his top receiving target, true freshman receiver, DeCorian Moore, a guy from my home state of Texas. DeCorian Moore, 19 receptions, 296 yards, both team highs. Looking at Oregon since the start of the 2023 season, they are 6-0 against the spread versus ranked foes during the regular season. I think they go to 7-0. I look for Oregon to score a TKO, Oregon by double digits over the Hoosiers.
All right, excellent. Good card this week, Thursday and Friday games, even 2 on Wednesday. How about Friday night? Top 25 South Florida at North Texas. North Texas, a 1-point underdog, 5-0 on the season.
You know, some of these Wednesday and Thursday games and even Friday games don't really pique my interest too much. I watch them kind of because I have to. But, man, I love this card of Wednesday through Friday games this week. And this is certainly kind of the highlight or certainly one of the big ones. A long way to go. But this Friday night American Conference matchup in Denton, Texas, pits 2 teams that are still very much in the playoff conversation. A lot's going to change between now and Sunday, December 7th, when we see the bracket, but that's certainly where we stand today in South Florida. I mean, you know, it seems like a lifetime ago, but they started the season with an absolute bang, opened with back-to-back upset victories. First, they upset Boise State, closed as a 5.5 home underdog in that Thursday night opener, took care of Boise 34-7 there in Tampa. And then the next week, week 2, they go to the Swamp, recorded perhaps the biggest victory in the history of the football program there at USF, beat the Gators 18-16 as an 18-point underdog. The Bulls were brought back to earth a little bit the next week, falling to now number 2 ranked Miami by a 49-12 count. Looking at this game, while South Florida comes in at 4-1 on the season, North Texas is perfect at 5-0. Certainly the Mean Green schedule has been a walk in the park when you compare it to USF's. They've got a third-year head coach, a guy, Eric Morris. Guys who go way back will remember Morris playing wide receiver for Texas Tech under Mike Leach in the mid-2000s, but he's an offensive-minded coach, as you might expect, being a Leach disciple. North Texas averaging over 43 points a game, over 432 yards a game. They have an interesting story at the quarterback position. Their starting quarterback, Drew Mestemaker, he started the First Responders Bowl last year against Texas State. They lost to the Bobcats 30-28, but that was the first game he had started as a quarterback since the 9th grade B team. He didn't start a varsity game as a high school football player at Austin Vandergrift High School. He was a backup throughout his varsity career. So he starts a bowl game, and the last time he had started a football game was for the 9th grade B team at Vandergrift. The Mestemaker, he's brought his A game, you might say, to North Texas this year. 1,247 yards passing through 5 games, completed 68% of his throws, 8 yards in an attempt, 11 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Very important through 156 attempts. I like North Texas +1 over South Florida Friday night in Denton.
Excellent analysis as always, Paul. Thank you for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Hey, same to you guys. Y'all have a great weekend of college football.
We have a goal in the hockey game and our pizzeria bets up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Time now for our weekly chat with the owner and the CEO of Circa Las Vegas, the Golden Gate, and the D, all in downtown. Derek Stevens joins the program now. Good to see you again. How are you?
How you doing, fellas? I'm glad I got back. I was down at G2E earlier today.
How's that going so
house.
far this week?
It's pretty good. Pretty busy. Yeah, it's good.
As always, right?
As always, a lot of new games to see. I will tell you what, Paulie, we are going to have a lot of fun marble racing next year. Marble racing is coming, and it's going to be fun to watch. I'll tell you, I could see myself having a couple beers watching marble. This marble racing is fascinating. You know, Sigma Derby is only 5 horses, right?
Yes.
And you got to bet the exacta. In marble racing, there's 8 marbles, and the way this thing goes up and down and all that, I couldn't believe it. It was awesome.
Okay, very cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you were at the Mariners-Tigers game 2 Sunday night.
Yeah.
Game 3 now, we've been waiting for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
They're going to have the first pitch coming up in about 37 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
You like anything in this game?
Well, I know the Detroit fans are going to be well lubricated, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They've been sitting in the concourse with nothing to do besides drink beer. And I think based upon Wilbo's update of all his buddies, they've been doing a pretty good job of it right now. You know, I think now, you know, the Tigers are a slight underdog in the series, a slight underdog in the game today. You know, Seattle still got to win 2 out of 3. Are they going to win 2 on the road? Or are they going to have to go home and beat Scoobel?
I know.
It's a tough it's a tough call at this point in time.
How about this? Because of this now very long rain delay, how much do you think that increased the betting handle here?
I would say some, to potentially a lot more. The game was just too early, so I'd rather have the game going a little bit later tonight. It's a Tuesday. We're going to have 2 games on as part of a public service announcement on, you know, for what we do. The Tiger Mariner game is going to be kicked to FS2. So for those of you that don't know where FS2 is, it's 618 on DirecTV. It's 319 on Cox. If you're on Comcast, look it up in advance because it looks like that's what they're moving everybody to.
Yeah.
Because when you go to FS1, they're going to be showing the other game.
Right.
Great job. Active content. Imagine going into a sports bar.
You have
and
no chance
You no
tonight,
chance
lobby
with the
spots.
bartender.
There's no chance in America. So you're going to go to a sports bar, and if you get the remote control, it won't be on the grid. You got to kind of know. Okay, who's your provider? And you got to know the numbers.
Yes.
You could be out of luck. What if you're on a date tonight? You know, you're gonna be going crazy. You're gonna have your phone up like this. Tough.
It is. We finally saw the no pick die down a little bit.
Yeah.
5 no pick. But as you've been talking about every week, when is this going to end with the picking underdogs and how many teams are used? Still 21 teams used in this week, and we finally had carnage though. But I am, like you every week, surprised at the amount of teams used.
Yeah, I mean, if you were someone that picked an underdog, and you know you got real cute about it, you picked let's say you picked the Titans, or you picked the Panthers. Well, so you picked the Titans, I get it, but there's still 646 teams left. So you got through by taking a crazy long shot at week 5, but now you're 1 out of 4,600. I don't know that I still think it's too early to take these long shots in general. There's too many people taking underdogs in week 2, 3, 4, and 5. That even if you got through, you know, so what? Really, I don't think you got enough value for it.
And I wonder how many of these big groups that have teamed together actually had a bunch of picks on their opponent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So of the group or the person that had the Titans on 1, like how many did they have overall on Arizona?
Yeah.
So you burned that many to your point, and now you got that 1 on Tennessee left of 4,669.
Right. All right. You know this. You know I think we could all say this Arizona game. You know, we were at the baseball game, so I kind of missed this out. We had to rewatch it. Holy smokes! I think this is fair to say this might be the worst beat in Circus. The worst beat ever in one of these football contests. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Oh,
it
yes,
is.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think forget about contest, just period, to win the game or on a
Should be up 28-6.
Yes.
28-6.
And then the interception was
Oh,
ridiculous.
my
And
goodness.
then off the face mask as well.
Oh,
How about 41% still have the bills available on the remaining people?
yeah. 1,878 have the bills available out of the 4,646. So
That's awesome.
it's a lot.
Wow,
It's a
I'm
lot.
surprised.
I really didn't think there's going to be anybody left with bills after week 5. I thought they'd all use them in week 4. I was a little surprised in week 4 that it wasn't used more often. And then obviously what happened last week. But yeah, there's 1,800 bills left. Here's the big one, though, this week. 4,623 out of 4,646 have Green Bay available.
Oh boy.
I mean, you got almost 99.9% of the pools got Green Bay. And they're a 14. What are we at? A 14.5? Okay, and the next biggest favorite's a 7.5. Wow.
I'll say this: if Green Bay did not have Carolina at home in Week 9, there's your all-time record for a big-time percentage for one team would be this week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. What'd you think of the carnage in Grandissimo?
Oh,
We're down to 16 now.
from 55 down to 16 in 1 week. Oh my goodness,
It's a lot of money.
That was something. I mean, you go out. I saw David Baker put something out there. You know, I've seen obviously a lot of these people say, you know, that were on the Cardinals. Like, oh my God, to losing a game like that, you'll never forget it. You'll just never forget it. Yeah, amazing. So we're down to 16 right now going in. Availability though on Grandissimo. I don't know if you've seen this, but out of availability on Circuit Grandissimo, 16 for 16 have Green Bay available.
Okay.
How many teams get used in Grandissimo this week?
2, 3, could be 1.
Could be 1.
Could be. I mean, it's
Multiple
a different
people step
It's a
out.
different. It's a different. Yeah, you can make a good argument. Okay, you're gonna step out. Let's step out.
How about all 16 people use the Packers and they lose?
Wow, that would be a heck of a chop.
Contest is over with.
What if 15 people take Green Bay and somebody takes the night game? We could have the ultimate scramble to hedge.
Could
You
be.
know, last week though, after Minnesota won the early game, so just before 10 a.m., there was a moment in time when that particular team, the Dream Team is their name, they could have scooped the whole thing. They were a four game parlay away from scooping the whole $6.9 million. Crazy.
That is true.
What do you think that parlay would have paid?
We did the math for the documentary. We paid 205 to 1.
Interesting.
If you took all 4 dogs,
Right.
it paid 205 to 1.
Do a round robin.
Yeah, we were doing the math quickly as we were
Good
going
job.
live on the air. That would have been something. A round robin would have been the way to play.
Yeah, there you go.
Because effectively, you can still get a little bit of cash. You don't have to have this crazy 205 to 1 thing where all 4 go nuts. Yeah.
The Circa Millions top 5 posted a losing record again. That's been incredible to follow with the top 5 most selected. But 21-4, your leader, and 4-21, the worst record, Booby.
Yeah.
I saw they
You
tweeted
see
today.
who's in the lead?
Who is that?
Private Plane Wayne.
No way! That's who that is?
How can that be?
No way.
He's 21-4. Private
Oh,
Plane
my
Wayne
God.
4 and Retchie. They're tied at 21-4.
Is he doing the opposite on one entry? Did he get creative or no?
He's not because
not?
we would see him over here on the
Right,
last
Wayne.
place leaders. So
Good job.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, first
Good
time
for him.
He sent me the screenshot this morning. I was still asleep. I was like, "What is this?" He's pretty happy about it.
I bet he is.
Sure, running hot.
start.
Is he in these? So he's got 4. How many entries does he have in the millions?
He's got 5.
He's got 5.
Yeah.
And he's on his own.
I don't,
that you
he's
don't
got
know?
a partner with I don't know what he's got a partner with everybody. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the spot that you want to be in then.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, in the last place, we got 3 tied at 4-21 for the Booby.
Going to be a good race for that prize the entire year potentially.
Sure will. Yep.
How was the game?
It was good. Yeah, it was
they
good.
lost, but-
They lost. I mean, no, they lost. If the Tigers would have won, it would have been great. No, it was good. It was loud. It was perfect weather. Seattle fans were very nice.
Okay.
They were kind of too nice.
Too nice?
Too nice.
You didn't like it? Yeah.
They're like, hey, just want to wish you best of luck. I had a couple of good Hey, let the best team win type of thing. This was a little bit different than when I watched the Tigers. I went to Yankee Stadium. It was a little bit different.
How would you compare playoff baseball in spots like that to playoff hockey in person?
Playoff baseball is just so good.
It's the nuts, right?
I just love playoff
It's
baseball.
so good.
I just love it. It is unbelievable. The chess moves.
Yep. Thanks, Derek. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll recap last night's in-pocket plays and tell you what we're betting next here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.